So people have been wondering where I've been. I've been regenerating. If you don't understand what that means, then just listen to this. My wordplay, this that's the average man's vertebrae. Shout out to my 10 tribe partners, baby orderly. When we combine, they considering us a mass threat. Blacks, natives, Mayas, Incas, and the Aztecs. You think it's far-fetched? You got to be kidding me. These same niggas saying Santa's sliding down they chimney. Look, when it comes to justice, they just ignore us. But watch everything we do through the eye of horror. This piss chorus, where we at, but where they at is gorgeous. I'm setting flames to these churches with Caesar Borgia. Got the duty of man, camp down in Georgia. Hold it down, keep the faith, the Most High is gonna reward you. I don't beef with my Hebrew peeps. I keep a cordial from a chosen stock, and you not. Sucks to be you. Yeah, the number is significant. While Satan's running wild, I'm trying to focus on my discipline. Moving like a whirlwind, I'm fighting till the world wins. To understand what that means, it's Isaiah 45:17. Aristocrat genes, kings and queens, but these Edomites be pulling our strings. I cut the cords in 94, avoid the bull like a matador. But if it's beef, I got an army of carnivores. Ric Flair, figure four, doors up the hinge. I got the gird with the drip, and it's matching my friends. I'm not friendly. I was taught to prove a friend. I'm set apart and don't give a damn about trends or your timelines, your Bentley or your high rise. Detonate your enterprises full of lies. Pull up and stop and bust most shots. And when I do, it be a genocide like Pol Pot. And that's real history. Show me a white Jew, I'll solve the Bigfoot mystery. It's not happening. You stuck in the case of fatal attraction. Both action with the words of the Lord when I be rapping. Catch your breath. Line your target up. People need you. Let's go. Cry aloud. I cry aloud. Yeah. You wreck like the TV. Heathens can't see me. Your rhymes just like feces. Favorite candy Reese's. Read the KJV. Stocking up on ammo. I've been paranoid lately. SPLC got them hating on me with verbal energy of our captors draining our energy. Yeah, that's why I got this Hennessy. 2 to 2/3, we gon' toast to your memory. Most definitely got the recipe. Expertly snatch the souls of my enemies. The rest be running like they centipedes. I keep the law, fear the Lord, solidify my legacy. Tranquilo, just let it be. You lost, trapped in a maze like Frank Beverly. Change the time like Pope Gregory. You want the truth? Say the word, we'll pull up at your residency. Valhalla, but more heavenly. End of the road, truth be told, we inherently are the chosen, north and south interwoven. Hit you with 10 like DeRozan. You know what mouth got your ears smoking. Kwame Yasha Allah, we live and die by the slope.
Matthew 19, verse 28. And Yahweh said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Peace and welcome to another episode of DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't do that. Shabbat shalom to the family in the house, man. It's your brother IQAhmath, IQAhmath, first name IQ. It's all the same. Make sure that you've wiped your feet before you came up in here, man. Some of y'all just came up in here just straight rude and bold, man. Walked in the door, didn't even knock. You know, that ain't cool. That ain't how we get down over here, man. If you came up in here, man, hit that like button. Hit the like button. Show some love, right? I'm coming in clear, man. Hit the 7 in the chat for me. Would you do that for your brother, please? Baba Kushah, can you hit 7 in the chat and let me know I am coming in clear, loud? Let me know I am coming in. Hear myself a little bit, sound a little low to me, but let me know. Help me out, fam. 7 in the chat for coming in clear. Throughout, brother Jason. Use Yell Koaf, the water. All right, looks like everything's coming in sound wise. All right. Salute to the Azerbaijan. Shalak, shalom. Use Yell Ashar. Again, Koaf, brother Jason, the Quab, and anybody else is going to be joining us live as we continue on, man. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Indeed and in fact. if you're keeping the Sabbath, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Salute to you. Outside of that, man, you see what time it is. The Hegelian dialectic is in full effect. The Hegelian dialectic is in full effect. Matter of fact, UZL and I were just bringing this up, talking about this the other day. And it's even more evident right now. There's so much going on, the different type of problems that they're trying to create insight, uh, utilize for distractions. I mean, they're full blown with it, man. Uh, if anybody doesn't remember what it is, let me get a little image up for y'all real quick, and we'll get to it, man. Hopefully everybody's well, and I know out here in the West Coast, man, we getting swamped with heat right now. We getting that heat wave, man. That heat wave that was hitting a lot of places earlier in the year. I mean, earlier in the summer, the Midwest, the South. It didn't finally hit us now, boy. We're definitely getting smacked upside the head, 100 plus for the past few days. I know the quad, but where you at, that's the norm. You probably don't want to hear us whining, but hey man, have some mercy because it's definitely heated out here. Uh, let's look at a definition for the Hegelian dialectic, right? And I want to see just a very simple, basic. Here go one right here. Now, Hegelian dialectic. In order to create a scenario of confusion, disruption, somebody's got to create a particular problem. So that's what happens. Step one is to create a problem. And then there's a control of the reaction to that problem. And the same people that starts the problem, they offer a solution. For everybody that's begging and dying for a solution for the problem that they created, while they got everybody in a frenzy, trying to figure out what's going on. So whether it's a school shooting, whether it's monkeypox, whether it's the triple E mosquito virus, whether it's the migrants, whether it's the economy, these are all controlled oppositions of each other. They're all being utilized to create distractions, to create uproars, to create dissension, all on the heels of America and the world waiting for new leadership. So as everybody is sitting back saying, well, who's going to lead us out of this madness? Who's going to save us from the economy crashing? Who's going to save us from these migrants? Who's going to save us from the school shooters? Who's going to save us from these bugs? They need to go ahead on and establish a problem. That's clear. They've done that. You've got wars jumping off. We know that. Inflation. Multiplicity of problems going on in the earth right now. Everybody looking for an answer. Chaos is in the air, you know? And then they're going to double back. That's interesting. Look, the Don is 109 in Pasadena, and it's the same as in Arizona. You know, something ain't right. We shouldn't have Arizona weather right now. But either way, yeah, it's nasty. Nasty. But, let's get to it, man. Starting a little later today just because of scheduling. This is how it goes. But hopefully everybody also, man, got an opportunity. That was a lesson I did Thursday regarding studying and precepting. That was by request. All praises. Been getting good feedback on it. And Lord willing, it's helpful to those who need it. So if you haven't checked that lesson, double back over there. Help yourself out, man. Get a little bit more food on your plate, right? But let's get right to it. Let me remove that. Let me do this one more time. So we got a lot of things on the table as usual. Not gonna leave y'all starving. Oh snap! Slacky, y'all. Hold on. I got my what's the name of? right, here we go. All right. So, as usual, man, we're trying to clock and see what's going on within this time frame of these world wars that's jumping up, right? Um, so Russia is continuing their retaliatory strikes. It was big news, man. Oh, Ukraine is making moves. They're moving in on particular towns in Russia. Putin's on his heels. He's looking for he's looking for a peace treaty. He's looking to really. We all know, man. At the push of a button, man, they can blow up the world if they wanted to. Let alone a neighboring country who's begging for help from everybody else to try to maintain themselves in this particular war. Right. So Russian missiles blast Ukrainian military academy and hospital, killing more than 50, officials say. So we see here the warfare is still jumping off. Matter of fact, let me get to this other scripture, man. Me and Sarah was just discussing this one. Psalms 2. We know that we're in a mode of warfare right now. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter tells us. Let me get that one too. We know this one, right? So Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. So there's a particular time appointed for everything that we go through, man. If I just snap my finger, that was already preordained by the Most High. It was already a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. The idea and the scriptural understanding regarding predestination and all those things, that's all real, man. The Most High's got everything plotted out before. He said he declared the end from the beginning. His work is done, So now we see here a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. Let's get down to the nitty gritty, right? A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So at this particular time, we know that we're in a time of hate, war. There's a time to kill. All of these things we're seeing right now. Time for mourning. And in the meanwhile, we're still trying to get it in and have a time to dance, a time to celebrate, a time to, have our own healings within our nation, having our own time to celebrate and honor the Most High through ceremonial laws. We just had our new moon last Monday. We're getting ready to embark on our end of the harvest season and the 7th new moon, the blowing of the trumpet. I believe that should be on October 2nd, leading up into our time to atone, which is going to be very, very important. And then building up in the tabernacles, all happening next month. So, it's a time for everything, man. We got to really monitor, watch, and observe the times as we've been instructed, right? But now we're seeing these heathens, man, they're going wild. They're going wild all across the world, man. There's wars jumping off everywhere. Discord jumping off everywhere. Dissension jumping off all over the place. It's not just Israel and Hamas. It ain't just Ukraine and Russia. You got issues going on in Kenya. There's issues going on in Niger. You've got issues jumping off with Turkey. I mean, it's going down, let alone America, Haiti. The list goes on and on. China, Taiwan, Philippines. The world is in a rage right now. But look, the scriptures say, why do the heathen rage in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, verse 1? Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? What's the vain thing that these heathen are trying to imagine? They're thinking that they're in control of these particular wars. They're fighting for the next domination of the world. Oh, China thinks they got next. Russia thinks that they're going to maintain their monarchy over their particular region in Eastern Europe. They thinking that they're fighting for the next world supremacy. They're thinking about building back better, thinking that they're going to have a great reset and so forth and so on. The Most High was like, they're over here raging, going about it, cutthroating each other, creating biological weapons and viruses. They out here, establishing new methods of warfare. I mean, Russia, even not Russia, Germany, they went back to the lab and started reinitiating their warfare protocols, which they haven't even touched since World War II. They've been so scared to even approach the topic of war because they've been beat down so much via the propaganda and via the loss that they took in World War II. You know, America went back, trying to make more nukes and everything else. They're all raging because the main thing that they're imagining is that they can break free from the power and the control of the Most High. Look at this. The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Most High and against his anointed, saying, so the heathen, the kings of the earth, which all are, living deliciously with America. Let's get that real quick in Revelation 18. All the nations, all the kings of the earth. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Speaking about who? The great whore, mother of harlots, Babylon, America. They're all involved. And guess what? The scriptures say that all of these nations hate the anointed of the Lord. The anointed of the Lord is the children of Israel. We were anointed with the blood and the blood of the covenant in Exodus 24:3-8. We're the anointed. So it said everyone, all the heathen, man, they're raging and trying to go against the Most High and against his anointed. So you have no friends in this, Israel. You're looking to Ishmael to help you. You're looking for Elam to help you. You're looking for Moab and Ammon and Ham and everybody else. We have no friends in this. The Lord was like, it's 12 of y'all tribal family. What more? You don't need no friends with these other nations. Ain't nothing they can do for you. They're all trying to supplant and take you down. They're all trying to take advantage of our cursings and our oppressions and our ignorances. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So we see where the correlation is. We know, according to Psalms 83, all the nations are confederate against us, right? But this particular aspect is, they said that they're against the Most High, right? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. They don't want to be subjected to the Most High. They don't want to be subjected to his righteousness. They don't want to be in the bondage under the children of Israel. That's in give me that. Let me get this in Job. I think it's 21. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. Job 21, 13, and we'll read down to 15. It says, they spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us. See, that's when they're saying, let us cut their bands from asunder and cast away their cords from us. From who? The Most High, right? And they don't want to be put into the afflicted bonds of the children of Israel. They don't want to be ruled over in righteousness. Why? Because they're spending their days in wealth. Therefore, they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out? And how oft come their destruction upon them? The Most High distributeth sorrows in his anger. So this is them trying to, get away from the Most High. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Look, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Most High is laughing at them as they sit back saying, you know what? We're in control of this. DEFCON 3, whatever. DEFCON 4, launch the drones, launch the missiles, assemble the bullets, get the troops out there. We're going to continue on our reign on this earth forever. And the Most High is sitting back laughing. Because he's the one that's in control. He's the one that's assembling all these things. I know y'all know this, but there's always people who watch on the back end and troll around, and they come in, they just listen, they don't come in, they don't say nothing, they don't salute the rest of the saints up in here. They just kind of listen, want the information, and they leave. That's all cool, right? But for those that still need extra learning, look, now they're thinking they're in complete control. The Most High is laughing at them because they're saying we don't need the Most High. Now, little do they know, the Lord is in control of all. So Sirach 10, it says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his maker. See, they said, what profit is it in us serving him? Like, what can we get out of it? We're only going to serve him, but we're going to get something out of it. They're not built for this. That ain't how the Most High ain't looking for them to do that, because that's the mentality of the nations. They're into idolatrous practices. They always are thinking that superstitiously something's going to come back for them. It's interesting. I was watching this one particular episode of The Twilight Zone, and it was called The Jungle. And it was about this Edomite, businessman. And, he's got a council of, rich businessmen and whatnot. And they're getting ready they want to build and develop on sacred, quote unquote, sacred African land. And the nations, we'll just call them Ham for lack of better term. So the Hamites over there, they got witch doctors, and they said, we're going to curse you if you build on the sacred land. And, the Edomite that went over to Africa to kind of, develop, get the land development deal and everything else. He goes back to the other Edomites, and he's telling them, like, they're like, so how's things going? He's like, yeah, it's good, but the only thing is the tribesmen, most of them are ready to submit, but some of them, there's one particular tribe that ain't with it. And they was like, well, who's that? And he named the tribe. He was like, yeah, they got witch doctors, and they said they're gonna curse us if we build on them. And all the Edomites start laughing, and they was like, these guys are said, they're savages, they're over here worshiping idols and all this other stuff. But the cold part is the Edomite that went over there and did the excavation, he walks around to each one of the Edomites in the table, and he was like, Jim, how many years have you been having that lucky rabbit's foot in your pocket that you believe they gave you all of these financial deals? And he was like, oh, what are you talking about? It's just a rabbit's foot. He was like, so you're telling me you're having the dead carcass leg of an animal and saying that that's going to give you good luck? And the Edomite that had the lucky charm, his little lucky rabbit's foot, he kind of got shut down. And another dude was like, man, Jim, calm down. You're going too deep in this. And he was like, well, Bob, how about you? Are you still paying attention to the zodiac? And he was like, oh yeah. He was like, oh, here goes another one who depends on the stars and the moons and the planetary creations to bring you good fortune. He was like, look at it. All of the heads of these companies are witches and warlocks practicing witchcraft and idolatry in their own way, but you're laughing and you're making fun of the Hamites who are doing the same thing, which lets you know, man, when the Most High said all the nations, all the idols of the, what is it, Psalm 90? I'm going to get that in a minute. I think it's Psalm 96:4. All the gods of the nations are idols. When I watch stuff, I'll be trying to think about precepts, right? But he made a good point. He said, man, and I said, that's really how it goes down. All of these elites, man, running these particular companies are all involved in elements of witchcraft. These guys are high witches and warlocks, man. They're involved in all aspects of the occult, left-hand knowledge, sorcery, you name it. But he broke it down in simplistic terms. He said, man, one dude's got a damn lucky rabbit's foot. Another guy's relying on astrology. Another cat, I forgot what the other dude did. But he said, look at this. He said, man, they're all in here. All of you are witches and warlocks, running these particular companies. You'd be like, man, how you going to laugh at the damn Africans? But that's why the Most High ain't dealing with these heathens. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High and his heart is turned away from his maker. So, the nations, man, they're not going to have no respect to the Lord. Why? Because it's too prideful, and we know pride goeth before destruction. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. Therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. The Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. The Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. So everything that we're seeing go down right now, warfare wise and etc., it's the Lord getting ready to overthrow these countries of these heathens, man, so that we can be placed back in our rightful place of ownership of the earth. He told us he made the earth for our sakes. Yahweh said the meek shall inherit the earth, right? But we got to get rid of these proud nations. And the Lord said, don't worry, I got it all in hand. I'm getting rid of them. They're going to get rid of themselves. Because Lord knows we can't do it. We ain't organized to do it. We can't get it together. We ain't got the resources, the weaponry, the warfare. At this particular time right now, we're going to need spiritual intervention and spiritual power given to us by our Heavenly Father in order to overtake these nations. Psalm 96:5 said, for all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens. So that's what we see. When the Edomite, if anybody likes watching the Twilight Zone, that was one of them, the jungle. And the dude flat out said, man, we worship our idols just like the Hamites. Like, what are you talking about? We ain't no better. Right? So let me get back over here. Psalms 2. So it said, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. See, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. So this is how the Most High is acknowledging how he's going to establish judgment on the earth. Man, the heathen are raging, man. They out here acting a damn fool and imagining the vain thing that they're going to be continuing on forever. You know, even that's in Psalms where the Most High said that I think it's Psalm 46 where he said they named the lands after their names, that their house can continue forever. What's that? Psalms. Wow, I'm drawing a blank on that one. Psalms. I know it's 40. I said 46. Let me see if somebody got me out here. Psalm for the 46. You know what? Why don't I just open up my old trusted book, man? Worried about this damn technology, right? Psalms 49 and 11. See? That's why you need both, man. Don't completely rely on this technology, man. Don't forget about your old trusty sword. Hey, Shalom, Mashaya. How you doing, Ike? Hey, I ain't forgot about that Revelation 11, man. I'm gonna get to that probably either this week or next, but I got you. Don't worry about it. I just been juggling, my brother. I'm just juggling, but I got you though. 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. So, we see the nature of the heathen, man. They want to have power extension till infinity, right? To continue forever. The Lord said that's a vain thought. The heathen are raging because they're realizing, you know what? Maybe this is the end. Maybe this World War III thing does end our reign. Nobody's surviving that except for the children of Israel. And the heathen that are spared in that particular scenario, they're going into bondage and captivity. They don't want it, but they're going into bondage. That's bottom line. I'm going off on a little tangent on it, but guess what? This is how it goes down. I'm sorry, Psalm 149. And let's read 6 down to 9. Psalm 149:6 says, "Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron." See, that's why they're talking about, let us break the bands asunder. Let's break. No, you ain't breaking out of this. You're going into bondage. You're going into captivity. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. Look, this is an honor to have. You know, while our brothers and sisters that's caught up with the Christian needles in the arm, you know, they don't want to, pull it out. They got an IV streaming of all these damn denominational religions, man. They just can't get off of the dope. They don't think it's going to be an honor to have their kings and their nobles in fetters of iron. They don't think it's going to be an honor to finally end all the wickedness and the evil in the earth. They're not going to think that it's honorable that we can finally get rid of the alphabet, community and all of their folly and all their wickedness, and we can actually have constructive families again, and the man can actually be put back in his rightful place as a head and a leader, and not be despised and not be rejected and not be restricted and told that he can't be around a woman if she's getting government assistance, or else, we're sick of that, man. It's not justice to finally have a functional, clean diet and get the earth back into its rightful form, that it can render the nutrients and the minerals necessary for us to have righteous sustenance in our bodies. They don't want to have, righteous judgment that's written so that we can have the earth be put back in its place of, where the water now isn't tampered with and bogged down with harmful metals and chemicals and sterilants and everything else. I mean, where we don't have to worry about aborting babies no more, because those kings that are constantly trying to push these particular laws saying, yes, murder more black babies, we can get rid of them, man. But no, our people say, no, that's too harsh. Two wrongs don't make it right. As the old saying goes, but a damn show makes us even, right? So that's what it is. That's what it is. And the heathen are raging, man. They're out there launching missiles at each other. They're going at it. We can get one more in Luke 21. And we'll read down. So we'll read 24. It says, Luke 21:24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. So we know that the children of Israel are going to be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We're going into bondage and captivity after the fall of our temple in 70 AD. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So obviously we know that if the true children of Israel have been led away captive into all the nations, then whoever's over there in that land right now are Gentiles. They aren't the people of the Lord, because the Lord said that they're going to be there until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. That's until, World War III, everything goes and the cleansing of the land happens and their time is fulfilled as far as them being able to occupy our lands. They'll be there for now. So who are the people over there right now then? Y'all know that. But let's continue. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations. So we're seeing all these particular things. We've seen the blood moons. We've seen the eclipses going down. That was big hype back on April 8th. Everybody was, we was all on the eclipse. We was all looking for signs and wonders. We was all looking for things to go down. We've seen much distress of the nations all throughout the earth. With perplexity, they're all scratching their head, wondering what's next. Where do we go? I played the clip of what's his name, Zelensky, a few weeks back, where he was saying all the earth was waiting on America in the next presidential election. We can't wait. We need help now. So they're all perplexed, man. And it says, and the sea and the waves roaring. So we're seeing all these things go down. Men's heart failing them for fear. 2 Ezra 15 tells us that, men is going to be afraid of these times. People invading the houses for lack of food and bread, raiding their neighbors' homes. Man can't go into a city. The desire to go in the city not be able. Sedition among men, not honoring it and following after the ways of the princes and the kings. The proverbial all hell breaking loose is what's going to be happening. Men's hearts failing from the fear. But then look at this. It says, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Continuing on. Salaki. It says, and then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. That's going to be a sight to see. Them clouds crack, man, and you see them chariots coming. And the children of Israel, man, the men of the Lord have been vindicated. We're already being vindicated as we speak right now, man. I remember years ago and coming in the truth as a young man in the truth back in the early 90s and moving on, man. We was looked at like a sideshow, man. Like, what, these guys, black Jews? Yeah, right. Nobody's believing that. But as we continue digging, archiving, getting more information, more knowledge, more breakdowns, more history, more archaeology, more books that definitively connect us, that co-sign the Bible and the prophecies. Now you people can't help but say, you know what? Yeah, they're right. And now you even hear amongst even the small hat GMOs. Well, yeah, there's black Jews. They would never admit to that 15, 20 years ago. No way. Now they're compromised. Oh, yeah, they got a point. Oh, but we're still the people. Now it's, everybody's now hearing about Hebrew Israelites. I ran into a Jake in the hardware store the other day. And 10 Tribe Cat. And he seen my fringes and he seen my shirt, and he was like, I had a shirt, Kingdom shirt that Brother Iran that gave me, and he was like, man, I like that shirt, man. And I was like, oh yeah, appreciate it, bro. He was like, yeah, in the fringe or the things on the bottom too, I like that. I said, well, the fringes is the law in the scriptures, right? And he was like, no, but yeah, no, I believe it. I said, okay. I said, well, he said, what with the kingdom? Like, what's that about? I said, well, it's a mentality, man. Christ told us the kingdom is within us. We got to, what's it, Matthew 6:33. I'm drawing a blank on, I don't want to misquote it. Matthew 6:33. Let me get it right. Matthew 6:33 says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So I, quoted that to him, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I like that." So he was, and I said, "You believe in the Bible?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, you heard about the children of Israel or the Israelites?" And he was like, "A little bit." And I said, "Okay, well," I said, "What's your ethnicity?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm Mexican and Guatemalan." I said, "Okay, well, you fall in line with the children of Israel. The descendants of the Mayans and the Aztecs, the Israelites. I said, according to prophecy, according to custom, according to, the laws of the Lord and this, that, and the third. I said, we're the same people." He was like, "Yeah, okay." He said, "Yeah, I kind of heard about that." He said, "I can't remember what the name was." I said, I said, "One of the tribes?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Was it Zebulon?" He was like, "No." I said, "Issachar?" He said, Yeah, Issachar, Issachar. Yeah, I heard I was Issachar." So he was, long story short, he was part of some church. They do like, little missionary work. He was running around selling some chocolates. They help the homeless and drug addicts and all the other stuff. But, I gave him a card, man, broke him down. But even to those points, like, you just run into people now who hear and know, oh, I'm Israelite. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I agree with that. Times are changing. That's a fact. Right? And that's why the powers of the earth or the powers of heaven being shaken, Verse 27 here, it says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So again, the vindication that we're going to receive, like I said, we're already getting it now. The churches can't hold a light or a candle to the knowledge right now. The scholars, the historians, they're caving in. They're basically like, yeah, you know what? We can't deny them. They just won't say that they're the people and the other ones aren't. Some are standing on that and saying, yeah, you know what? No, they're the children of the Lord. what was going on with them other people? Like we know that there was a lot of conspiracy and a lot of uh, hijacking of the name and the land and this, that, and the third. So some historians and scholars standing on the truth. But when this really goes down, it's going to be no question, right? But look at this. It says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads for your redemption draweth nigh. So it said even when it's beginning to go down, because remember in Matthew's account, he said that the time was going to be cut short for the elect's sake. And even Matthew said all these things are going to be the beginning of sorrows, but Luke doubled down and said, well, even when these things begin to start happening, start looking up for your redemption draweth nigh. You understand? So we're embarking on getting closer and closer to the end. So when we're seeing stories like this about the warfare that's jumping off, things going down, man, this is par for the course, man. This is all stuff that got to go down. Ukraine foreign minister resigns in the largest shakeup since the war began. So, 1 minute they're talking about how Ukraine is making moves, Russia's scared. Now, all of a sudden, their foreign ministers are resigning. They're getting bombed away with the largest strikes that Russia's laid down, which only means that NATO is going to have to come to the rescue. That's all we're really waiting on, man. We're waiting on NATO and the EU and the rest of the 10 horns to get involved in this war. Like, seriously get involved. Not the proxy. Give them some weapons, play robot with them, and make them do what you want them to do, and get little troops up in there, and have minor skirmishes. No, we need the whole thing to jump on. So that's all we're waiting on, right? So Ukraine has got disarray going on within their foreign ministry. Cats quitting and leaving. I mean, it's going down. So the more desperate they become, the more likelihood that NATO gets even further involved, which is going to trigger off the real essences of World War III. We're already in it. I've covered a number of different articles. Y'all seen some of the officials are even talking about it. NATO talking about it. All the nations is arming up and preparing for nuclear warfare. It's just a matter of who's going to really launch the biggest strike. Israel's Netanyahu faces a huge wave of anger over handling of war with Hamas as bloodshed continues. Hamas had killed some hostages allegedly. Netanyahu's been going wild. I mean, there's been all kind of war crimes that's jumping off. They're talking about he's a damn liar. Tell us something we don't know. Look at it. Anger at Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu following the killings of 6 Israeli hostages whose bodies were found over the weekend in a tunnel in Gaza. Speaking of tunnel, I'm gonna ask again. Anybody heard about them tunnels in New York? Like, what's happening with those? Since they love tunnels so much, since they love talking about the Palestinians are hiding in tunnels, they do too. What happened with them tunnels, man? I'm still waiting. Or did that get swept under the rug? So 6 Israeli hostages got put to death in the tunnel, right, in Gaza, was still mounting Wednesday as bloodshed in the Palestinian territory continued. The fury at Israel's longtime leader manifested in third consecutive night of mass protests, with tens of thousands of increasingly desperate Israelis demanding that Netanyahu agree to a ceasefire deal with Hamas to bring the remaining 101 captives back home. So now there's an insurrection amongst his own people. Remember in Second Ezra when we'll start hearing earthquakes and uproars of the people, even over there, they're having massive protests going on because they want the war to stop. Netanyahu said, I ain't stopping. About 75 of the hostages are believed to still be alive. The man is a liar, a compulsive liar. Oh, really? And I seen Candace Owens got some flack. Imagine that. And I'm not waving, Candace Owens flag. I'm glad that she's speaking some truth and she's standing on it. But until she divorces that damn white man, I don't want to hear about it. You dig what I'm saying? That's like, when Kanye was running around talking about different elements of the truth. But, he refuses to leave them white women alone. So how sincere is it? Revelation 3:9, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Hold on. The man is a liar, a compulsive liar. Protester Yair Katz fumed to CBS News on Tuesday night. Even their own saying he's a crook and a liar and he's a criminal. But when we say that, it's anti uh, sham, the rest. When we say it is a problem, right? When we say we got to get canceled, we're anti-semantics, right? Psalm 64:8 says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. Oh, they're going to start turning on each other. They're going to start ratting on themselves. They're going to start exposing themselves through their own tongues. Self-confessing white guilt. That's what that boils down to. White guilt. All that see them shall flee away, right? Back to Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan will say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet to know that I have loved thee. So they're saying, hey, this guy's a liar, a criminal, the whole nine. But black folks, Hispanics, Native Americans, don't say it. Let them say it. Let them confess. And we can sit back and say, yup, I agree. He said it, not me. You do? Naquan, you know the name. You know how it go. You're in the hood, man. You hear that ice cream truck. Oh my goodness, if it wasn't the Shabbat, man, I'd be out there right now flagging him down. Let's continue. Two U.S. soldiers are attacked in Turkey, as the video shows. Youth rebels putting a hood over the man's head. I believe I shared an article probably a year and some change ago where President Erdogan, the president of Turkey, said, man, all the nations hate America. If y'all remember that, throw a 7 in the chat. If you don't, I'm going to have to find it. But if you remember that article, man, now you're seeing Turkey is already broke free from the EU. Turkey has already acknowledged that they're going to back up Iran. Turkey's already acknowledges that they stand in solidarity with Russia. Now we're seeing, even on the streets, man, little youth groups, little rebels, man, jumping out. Okay, a couple of y'all remember that. Okay, all praises. So I'm not tripping. I did share that with y'all. Yeah, okay. The little young Turks, they out there, man, jumping U.S. soldiers, man. So that's letting you know, man, it's not going to be safe to be an American in some of these other foreign countries. You're going to be targeted. These guys was troops. 2 Marines. So imagine being a tourist when all hell breaks loose, man, and you run around talking about you want to go take a vacation to Europe and all. Man, you're going to get bust upside your head, man. Trying to stand behind America. 2 U.S. service members were attacked in Western Turkey Monday as video circulated online purportedly showing a soldier swarmed by a group of men who placed a hood over his head. The U.S. Navy confirmed that 2 Marines out on liberty were victims of an assault in Izmir and are now safe. They've been aboard the USS Wasp, which had arrived in the port city after completing a training at sea. It says Izmir's governor office told Reuters that members of the Turkey Youth Union, a youth branch of the nationalist opposition Vatan Party, physically attacked 2 U.S. soldiers dressed in civilian clothes in the Konak district. So they knew they was Americans, man. They over there jumping them. So just imagine the vitriol that's going on between, much of Turkey and America. Turkey's got a strong army too, strong military as well. So that when they get into the mix too, it's really going down. Now look at this. Venezuela's Maduro condemns piracy after U.S. seizes his smuggled plane. Remember, I'm always resort back to it. I want to see how many have seen this. I've advertised and been talking about this. I don't know why I like it so much. It was just so revealing and educating to me. Maybe it's not the same for y'all. So maybe some of y'all it helped as well. But really understanding the geopolitical construct of how America, through the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, controls nations. through loans, through coups, colonization, and the whole nine. Y'all know what I'm talking about. South of the Border, Oliver Stone's documentary. If you have not watched it yet, help yourself out, because this is a prime example of America exerting its will on Venezuela again. They've been having problems with Venezuela for years on end, ever since Cesar Chavez, and probably before him, was president. Where Cesar Chavez told the IMF in America, middle finger to you, we don't want your help no more. We're tired of being in bondage to you and your dollar. Once we pay off our loans, get the hell out of here. We're going to be self-sustaining ourselves through socialism. Now, it didn't work because there's not enough money in socialism to pay for everything and get everything rolling. Once America threw sanctions on them, all other countries were told, don't mess with them. They couldn't export goods and anything else to America, so they ended up suffering. So they ended up having to constantly print up money to try to sustain their economy. They ran down with inflation, and they're all jacked up now. Now they're over here hijacking apartment buildings. But what they did on a number of occasions, they established coups. They tried to get rid of. They tried to poison. They tried to kill Cesar Chavez. He finally died. Maduro comes in. He's playing by the same rules. They had the election. They had the other guy. I forgot his name. They were supposedly trying to, get him up in there. They said Maduro stole the election. How ironic, when there was the same scandal going on over here in 2019, in 2020 with Slow Biden and Agent Orange. They're saying, oh, they stole the election. Oh, in Venezuela, we're saying that this isn't a valid election. They didn't want Maduro in there. They said he cheated to win. And next thing you know, within 2 months of his reelection, last week we heard about blackouts and power outages, and he said we're being sabotaged. And then the next week, they stole his plane. Tell me, America, me and Naquan were talking about, tell America does not run the damn earth, man. And now they're getting ready to hit him with this plane that they said was illegally purchased. They're getting ready to hit him with civil asset forfeiture. And if you don't know what that is, I did a DSTM on that years ago. Basically, if the federal government or the alphabet boys believe that assets gained or used was involved or gotten by crime, they can seize it and take it. So they've got a lot of different cases. If y'all ain't seen it, people traveling, you got $10,000 on you or $12,000. They pull you to the side, TSA patting you down. They question you where you get this money from, blah blah blah. They hold you back. They're telling you you can't continue on to your flight to South America or to Jamaica or wherever. We need to investigate this. And you saying it's my money? What are you talking about? Like, you can't. Well, we'll let the courts decide. We're going to take your 10,000 and we're going to hold on to this, and you can fight to get it back because we believe that this is involved in drugs. No proof, no nothing. They can just take your stuff. They've seized homes, boats, cars, money, you name it, and they just can say, "Oh, this is tied to crime," and you can fight it back if you've got the money to battle the federal government to try to get back your money. Most people say, "The hell with it, man." There can be no criminal charges against you. You can beat your own criminal charges, but the stuff that they seized, it's hell to get back. That's exactly right, Naquan. All they got to do is believe and say, hey, that Ferrari that you got, we think you got that through drug money. We're going to have to seize that. So this is what they take his plane. Is going to be under civil assets forfeiture eventually, and they're going to sell the plane, and they're going to take the money and spread love to each other. They do it all the time. There was one case, man. It was a brother that was moving from Detroit. He was trying to get to California. Think he wanted to be a rapper or something. Sold everything that he had, and I think he literally had maybe like $10,000-$12,000 on him. Something went down. They pulled over the Greyhound. Cops came in, seized his money. He said, "Man, this is my money. I sold everything. I'm moving. I'm trying to reestablish myself in California." Stole his money, man. Dude's jacked up ever since. Happens all the time. Look it up. Civil asset forfeiture. They about to hit Maduro with the same thing, right? Uh, they said it's a plane used for smuggling. I mean, they're getting ready to. The next thing they're gonna do, they're gonna probably try to take this dude out. They're hitting him in the pockets. They're hitting him with, being look like he can't control the power of of his country. He knows who's doing this stuff. If they can't get rid of him that way, don't be surprised Maduro comes up sick with some fast moving cancer next year, poisoning, rise, jump off. Somebody done sniped him out so they can put some white Spaniard up in there. That's how they do. Don't be surprised. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said the United States, quote, engaged in a criminal practice after it seized Maduro's plane in the Dominican Republic on Monday, alleging that it was, quote, illegally purchased through a shell company. I mean, Esau does this all the time. White collar crimes, creating shell companies and fake businesses, operating through those so that they can't have themselves tied to anything. Laundering money I mean, come on, man, knock it off. The pot calling the kettle black, man. Through a shell company, the move follows widespread condemnation of Maduro's highly scrutinized re-election in late July, including U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken saying it was, quote, clear opposition. Candidate Edmundo Gonzalez won South American country's president election. So who do? They go whine back to Esau. They go whine back to the mother of harlots and the great whore, looking to get themselves back in a position. So if America says it, it must be true. They're gonna try to ruin this dude to get him up out of there. School shooting horror. When I first seen the picture of the dude, man, I thought he was like I said, and I was gonna say, man, watch him, say he's in the alphabet community, man. He's a transformer. He's a Decepticon. Well, lo and behold, they're not saying he's trans, but they are saying that he's a sodomite. Oh, he was subjected to being bullied and, but at the same time, he had an infatuation with the Parkland shootings out of Florida. It turns out over a year ago, the FBI had gave a tip to the Georgia police in his county. Told him, hey, we got some information. This guy was threatening to shoot up a school on a video game. I let you know for you parents and for you youngsters, man, out there playing the video games and you're online and the feds is listening. They got all of that stuff, man. They got all that because the FBI got word that through video game playing and video game conversations that he said that he was going to shoot up a school and kill everybody. So they dropped the dime to the local police and said, man, go question him. We heard about this going on. And the kid denied. He said, no, I never said that. No way. Blah, blah, they let him go. Pops buys him an AR-15 for Christmas. It's always the FBI got word ahead of time, man, and then they go and let things go. 14-year-old. Y'all all heard about it. I'm just recapping and letting you know how things always have a connection. The dude that tried to snipe out Trump. Remember, I showed y'all the article. They said that his cell phone was pinging. He had conversations with people next to a federal building, which later said that they ended up he was in contact, was allegedly had some FBI contacts. So who knows where and how this whole thing went down? But look, they done hit the dad too. Dad gets the murder charge for buying him the gun. Appalachia shooter Colt Gray. That's why I looked at him. I said, man, this dude's a sodomite. He's definitely in the community. Appalachia shooter Colt Gray's dad, Colin, charged with murder over son's rampage that killed 4 and left 9 injured. The dad of the suspected Georgia school shooting has been arrested and charged with murder after allegedly buying his son the AR-15 rifle for Christmas. You know, this is going to be utilized for gun violence. You know, we always know there's going to be some school shootings before an election. They need something to talk about, especially next week when they have the debate. Of course, gun control is going to be there. They didn't make no big deal about no gun control when Trump almost got his head blown off. They wasn't tripping about that. You know, the Venezuelan gangs, they're strapped up, armed to the teeth, banging on doors. How'd they get these guns? We got to get rid of them. You know, of course, that's going to be a problem reaction. And if you vote for red or blue, we got the solution. You know how that plays out. You understand where I'm going with that, right? Colin Gray hit with a slew of charges just a day after his son, Colt, 14, allegedly killed 4 people and injured 9 others. His dad, Colin, 54, was charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children on Thursday. That's cold. Pops bought him the gun. He go out and shoot up everybody, and then Pops gets the same and even worse charges. The question, though, is, well, what about all these weapons that is getting bought and purchased in Ukraine, in Kenya, and all over the world that America supplies weapons to, that are being used in wars, insurrections, coup attempts, and the whole nine? I mean, they're not responsible for all this blood too? Oh, no. They're doing it in the name of democracy. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We're doing it for democracy, for freedom. Zechariah 11:5 says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. I didn't do it. I mean, I gave him the gun. I didn't tell him shoot and point. I told him it was blanks in there. Who knew? Didn't they switch it up? Didn't that happen to the guy? Baldwin, on the set of the damn movie. He shot and killed somebody on the set. And they said the weapons expert and all that, messed up with the gun. I think they said it's supposed to be blanks, ended up being a real bullet. Same thing happened to Bruce Lee's son. It's supposed to be blanks in the gun. He got hit with an actual bullet, got put to death. Brandon Lee. Bruce Lee's son got put to death that way. You know, they always play them games. Whose possessors slay them hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. You know, so Esau always bows out and says, it's not my fault. Oh, but no, here we go. He's going to get hit. He's getting hit. But when they do other stuff, man, they got mass murder worldwide. But same rules don't apply. This mugshot was released by the Barrow County Sheriff's Office after 8 p.m. Let's continue. Look at this. Georgia school shooting suspect was picked on for being a sodomite. Says his dad in bombshell police documents. So the school shooting down there in Tennessee, wasn't it a sodomite that did that one? A transformer? Haven't the last few of these shootings been transformers, man? Operatives of the country, the Rainbow Coalition, man, they out there with their armed combatants, shooting up places, blaming it on mental health, blaming it on them being hated on because of their sexual preferences, because they were born that way. You were born a murderer as well? Is that how that works? So there you have it, man. Another sodomite on the rampage, Let's look at this. We talked about it last week. Brazil got rid of X. Now they're talking about the European Union has an X problem. So like we talked about before last week with a famine of the word, and the extensions of being able to communicate information and share information, they're going to start cutting those things off, or they're going to be regulated to where you can only access them through a particular means, i.e., a digital ID, a barcode, a facial recognition, facial scan, multiple ways to verify your account, because that's all going to be locked into one particular thing. I think Google. Yeah, I think it was Google, my Gmail or something like that. I had wiped, cleaned my computer off or whatever the case may be, my history and everything else. So I had to re-log back into my Google account. And they gave me another little thing saying, oh, do you want to, do two-step verification or secure your verification? And so you ain't got to do all these, we'll send you a code and everything else. And I looked and said, well, what does that involve? And it was all biometrics. Oh, well, yeah, let us scan your face, do your thumbprint, I was like, what? Get the hell out of here. No. Have y'all experienced that in your accounts? Where the two-step verifications typically is biometric involved? Because I just kind of paid attention to that yesterday. And I was like, oh, the two-step verification. Biometrics, they're going to link that in with the digital IDs. That's going to be the only way that you can access things in the near future. Right? So here they go. And we've been talking about it. They're going to start moving to shut down platforms of so-called free speech. So Brazil was the first to jump out the window. Now here comes the EU. Elon Musk's woes are hardly limited to Brazil, as he now risks possible EU sanctions in the coming months for allegedly breaking new content rules. Access to X has been suspended in South America's largest country since Saturday, after a long-running legal battle over disinformation ended with a judge ordering its shutdown. But Brazil is not alone in its concerns about X. Politicians worldwide and digital rights groups have repeatedly raised concerns about Musk's actions since taking over what was then Twitter in late 2022, including sacking many employees tasked with content moderation and maintaining ties with EU regulators. Musk's free speech absolutist attitude has led to clashes with Brussels. Did you hear that? Musk's free speech absolutionists. So he's saying if you're all about nothing but free speech, that's leading to clashes with the European Union, Brazil, you name it. So there will not be a First Amendment absolution. They're going to say that's a little extreme. You've got disinformation. We can't allow that. Who's to say what's disinformation? If when all the information that was coming out about the C-19, when the plague, when the pandemic was jumping off, I was doing article after article, research after research, sharing peer-reviewed articles, all kind of stuff about the truth of what was happening. Strike here, strike there, channel gone. Strike here, strike there, channel gone. We're warning you. We're warning you. Like with the Three Stooges. I'm warning you, tough guy. They doing that type of stuff, man. And then later they come up, oh, actually, research does say this. Oh, actually, these are harmful. Oh, actually, it wasn't that bad. Oh, actually, the mask didn't do anything. Oh, actually. But are you going to give me my damn channels back? No. Are you going to revise the guideline? No. You going to apologize? No. So they already setting the stage to say that we don't want absolute free speech. We control the narrative in regards to information. We're going to control the narrative in regards to what's offensive, what isn't. We'll decide what's considered hate speech and what isn't. We'll tell you what's offensive and what isn't. If you don't like it, get off the platform. You don't like it? Oh, you don't want to get? Well, guess what? We'll just ban it. Is the Twitter ban, is that still going down at the end of the year? I haven't followed up on that. Does anybody know? Throw it in the chat real quick. If you're familiar with the Twitter ban, is that still going on? Matter of fact, let me look at it. Did I say Twitter? TikTok. I meant to say TikTok. TikTok banned all the news on attempts to ban the video platform. Slow Biden signed a bill on the 24th that would ban TikTok. May 7, TikTok sued the government over the ban, calling it unconstitutional. Discussions about banning TikTok have seen politicians in the U.S. Attempts to force the sale of TikTok began under the Trump administration, for culminating into the successful blah, 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 blah. So if we see here, Trump started it. So if he wins, he's probably definitely going to continue moving forward with the banning of TikTok. Prior to the law signing, a slew of TikTok bans across the U.S. barred the app from devices. So I guess it's still on. And I know they gave until December to sell it. They gave him to the end of the year to sell it. Yeah, I meant TikTok. I know I said Twitter. TikTok. So these platforms that are being used for free, so-called free speech, man, they're getting rid of them. Slowly but surely, banning them, heavily fining them, trying to pressure them into, even the guy that got arrested that runs, not Discord. What was the other platform, man? The guy just got hit up with. Oh, damn, it's on the tip of my tongue too, man. Man, not Discord. Nah, not 4chan. Telegram. That was it. I believe that was it. I think it was Telegram. Telegram. Yeah, it was Telegram. Pavel Durov. Yeah. Yeah, Telegram. That was it. The water, Jason. And Koha, or Naquad. Telegram. So you got X, Telegram, TikTok, all under scrutiny right now. One's already banned in one country. The European Union's reviewing X to get them more heavily fined. I think they even said the cat from Telegram, he's already buckling and trying to make amends on trying to, furtherly secure his access to the Telegram and what can and can't be said. He's buckling. So, we're gonna see what happens with that, man. But it's only a matter of time before Zuckerberg caves in, because he's known to buckle. He's already acknowledged when the FBI leaned on him about that laptop situation with Hunter Biden. He bent and broke and bowed the knee. He said last week, man, was slow Biden and Kamala Harris was leaning on him about election interference and Russian disinformation and all that. Forced him to get on people and ban people and jack up their shadow ban their Facebook pages and Instagram and all that. So we know he's gonna buckle. So just imagine. Favorite platforms. Instagram, Facebook, being heavily regulated, monitored, government controlled. What's that leave? YouTube. YouTube is already, compromised with being owned by Google. They compromise your searches. They already got the guidelines lined up, So that prophecy about there being a famine of the word is slowly but surely starting to manifest itself. We see here worsening landslide forces power cut to 105 more homes in Rancho Palos Verdes. I mean, this is the type of stuff that's going on right now. The earth, man, is in complete disarray. We're talking about the earth, man. It's sliding. Palos Verdes is an affluent neighborhood in LA County. Multi-million-dollar homes there. And, They're cutting the power off. They made all them people, 105 people, move. Get out. Let me read that before I read this scripture. Look at this. And yeah, Khan, that's right, Ezekiel. All praises. The heathens want to hide up in the hills, man. Like Obadiah says, man, when they want to perch off of their little hills and look down on the small folks, man. Look down on the Hispanics and the blacks. Most High, like, I'm gonna chop you down. I'm gonna take you down. They was holding on. They was like, look, get out. We're gonna cut the power. We're gonna do this. You got to get up out of there. They always getting hit with the wildfires. They always getting hit with the massive floods. So now they're saying that the land is even shifting, and they're fearing that it could lead to massive landslides and them losing their homes and them dying and all that. So they lost their stuff, man. More than 100 additional homes in Rancho Palos Verdes will have their power cut because of worsening landslides in the area. This time, 105 of the 270 homes in the Seaview neighborhood will see lights turned off as of 7 p.m. Monday. Officials said the shifting earth puts electrical equipment at risk and could spark a wildfire, among other dangers, if the power lines are electrified, officials said. The power shutoff will impact a large swath of Seaview, a mid-century modern tract designed by master architect Paul Williams in 1960 that features touches such as stone fireplaces, space-age light fixtures, and eye-popping bursts of color atop an ocean bluff. Well, didn't we just read they spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave? It don't take but a minute, man. Officials said 47 homes will be without power for just 24 hours, but 38 will have to do without for 1 to 3 weeks, and 20 more after 20 more are losing power indefinitely. I mean, they can't go back to their little $1 million homes. Let's look at this, man. Isaiah 24, for the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the hardy people of the earth do languish. So when the earth starts having these particular issues, it's because of the defilement of its current controllers. If the scriptures say the earth's been given into the hand of the wicked, the earth is even struggling. The earth is even having to suffer under the rulership of these people, man. That's why the Lord said the land needs to be given a Sabbath of rest. You can't keep pillaging and plunging and building on. They're glorifying all this, this Edomite architect and all the plush things he put in, the light fixtures and the damn fireplaces and all that. I mean, who gives a damn about that, man? It don't even be that damn cold enough to be using a fireplace. And they constantly rape and pillaging the land, man. And the earth is like, man, I'm wore out. I can't maintain this. Lord, give me a damn break. When's the children of the Lord gonna be back in power? The earth even damn begging us to get back. Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. So, when it's all said and done, the servants, the prophets of the Lord, are going to be rewarded. What are we going to be rewarded with? Vengeance upon our enemies, man. We're going to get the kingdom of heaven. We're going to rule in righteousness. We're going to have servants and handmaids. We're not going to be having any more tears and sorrows and depressions and nothing else, man. We're going to be glorified in the Lord. Glorified bodies, the whole nine. And to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. That's part of the reward, man. Taking out the damn heathen that destroyed the earth. Why? Because the scriptures say that the earth was made for our sakes. I mean, they're completely destroying our possession. I think that's in 2 Ezra 7. Yeah. 7 and 10 and 11. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also was Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was the decree that now is done. Right? So the earth was made for our sakes. The world is ours. But now it's in the hands of the wicked, and they're destroying our possession. They're destroying what's rightfully ours. Don't we need them up out of the way so that they don't continually destroy it? Yeah, they can keep throwing down fake grass and uh, fake trees and you know recycling the water and everything. They're trying to put up this whole fake front. No, the earth is fine, but meanwhile the atmosphere is all jacked up, man. They're spraying chemtrails all over the place. The waters is polluted and defiled. Oil spills all over the place, pollution, trash, recycling. I mean, it's all over the place, man. They need to be removed. Getting back over here. And now see they're suffering from their own destructions. So, they can't dwell in their homes 24 hours up to indefinite amounts of time because of the earth shifting. Landslides, they're getting ready to lose their homes because that's the judgment that the Most High laid down. They want to perch themselves up in the high places and, live in the affluent areas and all that. Okay, Most High said, I'm going to bring you down to the ground. See this? You can almost see the ground move. State of emergency declared in California as land movement threatens the power lines. They're talking about they actually are witnessing the land shifting and moving. That's why you got to get the heck up out of there, man. Now, this is another thing, man. This has been on the news. People, I'm seeing on YouTube, man, content creator after content creator, everybody talking about, the Venezuelan, the gangs, the Aurora. That's another Hegelian dialect. We've already covered and shown, man, the majority, the largest influx of so-called migrants, man, are the Chinese. But who are they plastering on the news? And the reason why we're seeing this is because guess what? When the Chinese is coming over here, man, they're getting stashed away right into Chinatown, right into the other neighborhoods that's already set up for them, right? Everybody's going to their own people, like Isaiah 13 says. Ishmael, they linking up with their own. Esau coming over here, they linking up with their own. The Africans, they trying to migrate with the ones from Africa. They could be Israel. They're coming from West Africa, from Senegal and from Sierra Leone and whatnot, but they're trying to acclimate. But where are they telling the Venezuelans? Where are they telling the Ecuadorians? Where are they telling the Mexicans? You got to go to the hood. That's where your people is at. Oh, so yeah, you going to Chicago, you going to New York, you going to California, you going to Colorado, you going to various areas in Texas and Detroit. So who has to deal with the influx is us. But they're concentrating on this Colorado story because here we go with another problem, reaction, solution, another part of the Hegelian dialectic, the Cloward and Piven that we talked about last week, overflooding the system with people to where now the people are begging for systematic control via digital payments on a universal basic income because we can't just keep regulating who and how much we're giving out to everybody. They're already starting them off. They're getting the debit cards. They're getting the damn bus tickets. They're getting rent, free. They're getting food, EBT. So they're setting them up on a universal basic income as it stands right now. Then they're letting them run wild with the crime. I seen a video of some residents somewhere, and they was trying to tell the police, look, there's a guy convicted of double murder in here. He's talking about he's about to go pick up $50,000 from somewhere else. Man, we need you to go investigate that. And the cops was like, this is a sanctuary city. There's nothing we can do about it. And they was like, look, we're telling you, this guy is a known criminal. He's got issues going on, and he's illegal. And the cops is like, nothing we can do about it. This is a sanctuary city. I'm not touching it. And he was like, and the cop said, I just had a double murder in my possession. I had to let him go. Nothing we can do about it. So they're influxing our brothers and sisters coming on over here trying to figure things out. And of course, like Israel, man, why is it do evil but to do good? We have no knowledge. We come over here trying to get it how they live. And then we're hearing about different stories. Remember, come on now, Harris, Koala Harris, Hyena Harris. She said there is no border crisis. There is no problem at the border. What are we talking about? She said that the border's under control. There's no problems going on, right? You've got various these other politicians in different states. They're like, hey, we need help. We need money. What's going on? They're furnishing and giving all of these particular benefits and letting them run wild, fighting the police in New York, letting them off the hook. They're increasing the crime rate. Why? Because they need to create a problem. Now it's all viral. Everybody's talking about Aurora, Colorado needs apartments. Half the damn country didn't even know where Aurora was. Now everybody knows. You got fake news going on TikTok talking about the Hell's Angels is about to go over there and ride out and regulate. I was like, get the hell out of here. Fake news jumping. But why are they doing this? So that they can create this particular crisis. Now they got people riding around on some vigilante stuff. I seen videos talking about, we're going to take our country back. The hell with these Venezuelan gangs. We started gang banging. We're going to take it. You see the Jakes in Chicago. Ain't no damn Venezuelans took over here. This our hood. Blah, blah. They're waiting for Jakes to cut each other's throats off so they can clean up the mess, dump them all in the morgues, buy up these properties that's ran down and jacked up, pennies on a dollar, man, and it's all over with. Look at this. Shock as two Trinidad de Agua gangsters are jailed for terrorizing a Denver suburb are allowed to walk out of jail and roam free in Colorado. They said these guys got in a shootout, attempted murder. It was 4 of them. Two other ones, they're in custody of immigration right now. These 2 guys, they got out on bail, $1,000 bond. 2 thugs from the notorious Venezuelan gang Trinidad de Agua, arrested in Colorado for a shooting, are free on the streets of Aurora, Colorado. You think they're gonna find these guys again? Man, these dudes about to bail out and be gone somewhere else. Dixon Azue Perez, 20, and Nixon. We're just gonna call them Dixon and Nixon. I ain't getting into their last names. 20 and 19 are 2 of 4 Trinidad de Agua gang members arrested by local police in recent days for an attempted murder on July 28 that occurred at the Nome Street Apartments. Aurora police confirmed Dixon and Nixon are no longer in jail. Nixon and Dixon both posted $1,000 bond on their charges. They are no longer in custody. So these guys are shooters, and they back on the streets again. What do you think the people are going to say? I got to strap up. I got to arm up. I can't trust the police to do anything. It's catch and release. Same thing they was doing in New York. They were already setting the stage for a catch and release. You see the crime was running rampant out here in California, man. All the smash and grabs and raiding the stores and the organized chaos with the TikTok mobs and the Facebook mobs. So when we're wondering when the thing's gonna jump off with civil war, race wars, remember the Most High said judgment is gonna begin at the house of the Most High first. Israel gonna be going at it with each other in a lot of these particular scenarios. Let me see that in 1 Peter 4:17. It says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin with us, why? Because the Most High is waiting for his elect. He's waiting for the remnant to repent, right? So that the 1/3 can be sealed, because the 2/3 are already going to be judged. So when we're talking about Jacob's trouble, that was specifically isolated for us. Jacob's trouble in Jeremiah, I believe, 30. We're going to have our own troubles. Outside of we're saying, well, damn, we already went through Deuteronomy 28 and the curses. Yeah, well, we still got more to go. The Most High said we received double in Isaiah 40. So it ain't just going to end. The Most High was like, when it's time to when judgment got to go down, the house of the Most High, Israel, it's going to begin at us. So when you see Jake's in Chicago going at it with the Northern Kingdom and various states, and just know that that's how the Most High said it's going to be lined up. And then Esau jumping in and everything else. What shall the end of them be that obey not the gospel of the Most High? So we see judgment is going to happen here first, man. That's why they're filtering in and allowing all this stuff to go down, because they're trying to establish complete chaos. And then they want to come in, wipe everybody out who remains, buy up the properties, put everybody in bondage under a particular system that gives them more control. But our people are being used as pawns right now, man. And the cold part is they're just being isolated as if this the only damn so-called migrants that's coming over here. All you hear about is Venezuela migrant. Again, can we talk about the damn Moabites coming over here? Moab is over there, man, involved in fentanyl sales. They're in league with the cartels, slinging fentanyl, weed, and all kind of stuff, and they sliding right up over here, man, being mules. I remember DSTM I did earlier this year, I believe. It was a big drug bust. I forgot what city it was out here. Big drug bust, and they was talking about how it was involving money laundering with the cartels, and they were utilizing the Chinese yuan to exchange their money because they was doing drug deals for weed and fentanyl and other drugs. And they did a raid on this particular house, man, and it was two old Moabites that was running part of a drug operation. But guess who they're gonna plaster on the damn screen though and say, no, it's the damn brown, it's the brown folks, man, the damn Mexicans and the Venezuelans that's doing it all. See, they've been getting away with this stuff for a long time, man, blaming Jakes. But let's move on. Now here's another thing. 10 years ago, this is an article I had to archive. You're hearing about everything that's going on with the mosquitoes. I mean, they want us to have multiple reasons for fear, multiple reasons to be in panic. Oh, Mpox, watch out. Bird flu. What happened to bird flu? Is that gone now? Did they clean that up? Is that over with? Because they people wasn't really marching to the drums of the bird flu thing. Also, let's break out the Mpox. Mpox ain't. Oh well, guess what? We need the triple E mosquitoes coming down. But this is even more interesting because, hey, this is all based upon what? Biological warfare. I shared the article with y'all that they did with Avon Park, Florida, and in Savannah, Georgia, utilizing biological weaponized mosquitoes to spread malaria and all kind of other damn diseases. Where'd they get it from? Oh, Nazi scientists plan to use mosquitoes as a biological weapon. And guess what ended up happening with these same scientists? Through Operation Paperclip. Oh, after World War II, all of the top brains from Germany, the U.S. recruited them, housed them, right? You watch that movie, Oppenheimer, among other, there's been plenty of hints that they drop in there talking about Operation Paperclip. They talked about it in Captain America: Civil War. But people watching and think that's just part of the movie. They won't think they're actually going to see, is that real? She said Operation Paperclip and Nazi scientists being brought over here after World War II and given citizenship and housing and being used as pawns for America. People never go look it up. They think that's part of the movie plot. They're making it up. No, it's real. So the idea of using mosquitoes as a biological weapon. Himmler ordered secret research into how malaria-infected insects could be sent behind enemy lines, right? So is it real? Of course it is. 1 Timothy 6:20. It said, "O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called." In this instance, science is talking about knowledge. oppositions of knowledge, falsely so called. Esau, stands behind his sciences and says this is the only way, science over God. This is the false knowledges that our people are buying into and falling for. And the so-called white man is battling us, utilizing science and biological weaponry. I mean, he's arming insects against us, man. This dude is diabolical. Insects. He's arming up. The killer hornets, yeah, that was something jumping off a few years ago too. I mean, yeah, the African hornets, I mean, they got it all. Psalms 110 and 119 and 110. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. See? That's what the Most High says is going to keep us away from the folly, the know-how, the wisdom, the understanding, to not fall for these snares that the wicked are laying down. Right? If we stick to the precepts, we stick to the law. Psalm 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. See, once we start understanding how these things are playing out, who our enemies are, what are they doing, what are they plotting, the everlasting hatred that they got for the Lord's people, the fact that he will kill his own in order to get his primary target, which is us, he's going to do it. Self-sacrifice for the greater good. White man plays by those rules. Let's look at Lamentations 3. And we'll read 46 and 47. It says, all our enemies have opened their mouths against us. The Israelite community is continuously being condemned. Oh, they're a hate group. Oh, they're a separatist group. Oh, they're racist. Oh, they're a cult. Oh, they're misogynists. Oh, these guys are pimps. I mean, you name it. Murderers. Constantly opening their mouths against us. Fear and a snare has come upon us, desolation and destruction. This is what the so-called white man is trying to line up right now, man. He's trying to establish fear and destruction. Well, why wouldn't it be a Hegelian dialectic tactic? Fear, problem. Destruction is coming. Oh, the plagues are here. Oh, you better be careful. Mask up, glove up, separate, quarantine. No, you can't go out. Where's your papers? Remember that when the first plague was hitting? Do you have your vax passport? Where's your papers at? Oh, you can't come over here. You can't travel. You can't go there. Genesis 27:41. I'm going to show you something in a second. Look. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Slaki, I want to read up to verse 39 and 40. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, but thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. This is a future prophecy. Esau served under David. They broke the yoke. They started establishing their own kingdoms, but they are going to go back into bondage and continually serve us for 1,000 years before he's ultimately wiped out. Main point, though, is, and by thy sword shalt thou live. So a sword is an act of war, or a weapon of war, I should say. Even dealing in biologics, man, this is part of him living by the sword. This is another sword, utilizing mosquitoes to carry disease-infected malaria, man, that can kill off, populations of people, right? Sickening them. That's still a weapon. So they've got the mind to do this stuff, man. The majority of our people, man, they ain't doing stuff like that. But he knows how to do it. Nazis considered using mosquitoes as biological weapons during the Second World War. Research has revealed toward the end of the war, scientists at the Institute of Dachau conducted research into how malaria-infected insects could be kept alive long enough to be released into enemy territory. In 1942, the leader of the SS, Heinrich Himmler, ordered the creation of the Child Entomological Institute. Its official mission was to find new remedies against diseases transmitted by lice and other insects. German troops, often plagued by typhoid, and there were concerns about a developing typhoid epidemic at the Nengugang concentration camp. So this is a 10-year-old article that they, unveiled that the Nazis was trying to use this. Look at 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes were approved for release in the Florida Keys. That was in 2020, 4 years ago. You think that they've repopulated? 750 million, mind you. You think they all died off, or you think they've been released and they're mutating and they're doing something? Like, why would you do this? They claim it's to, the GMO mosquitoes are supposed to kill off the females and to stop reproduction and all that. I can't tell. That was in 2020. A little more than 4 years ago. Father of four fighting for life after getting 3 mosquito viruses from one bite. It could happen to anybody. Oh, get ready. New Hampshire. Father's fighting for his life after contracting 3 separate viruses from a single mosquito bite. Joe Casey, 54, has been on a ventilator. Oh, what else were they using ventilators for? Remember the DVOC 91? Oh, yeah. Slap them on the ventilators, man. Here they go. After he tested positive for the mosquito-borne virus, Eastern equine encephalitis, St. Louis encephalitis, and West Nile virus, according to a fundraiser. He got a triple dose. He got the Eastern encephalitis, the St. Louis, and the West Nile. I mean, they arming these things up with 3 different. One don't get you, the other one will, or all 3 will get you. You tell me these ain't damn GMO juiced up mosquitoes out here. A mosquito bite. Stay inside. Oh, remember that? Problem, reaction, solution. Here we go. Stay inside. Strict COVID-like measures in high-risk towns introduced over triple E threat as deadly mosquito-borne sicknesses spread. So they're starting to go back to the old measures. Oh boy. New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Vermont. These are all places that got hit. That they're saying, we need curfews. We need you to stay in the house. We need you to. Oh, and guess what? Right around time for the election. Oh, you can't go out. Mail-in ballots only. You know, we can manipulate those things. Perfect timing. Let alone are they willing to see? Are the people going to fall for it again? Not saying, like I said, I'm not saying these mosquitoes ain't out there, but guess what? Who created them? Where are they going? What are they doing? Why are they being weaponized? And they're already talking about we've got the means to shut stuff down once it spreads enough. Look, Vermont officials have reportedly told residents to limit their time outdoors between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Oh, curfew, stay in the house, 12 hours. I guess between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. the mosquitoes on out during the day. Unbelievable. Sudbury is the 5th town to join the high-risk list. The town was preceded on the list by Alberg, Burlington, Colchester, and Swanton. Obviously, this disease is dangerous, but it's not widespread at this point. We should acknowledge that it's there and take precautions, Governor Phil Scott told the outlet. Yeah, of course. It's not there yet, but it will be. If everybody doesn't advise and abide by the restrictions and the lockdowns. Ashar, you must be a prophet, man. You must be a prophet. Either that or you've been spying on my damn computer. Here you go. Since you brought him up.
It holds things back.
Let's back it up. This is the video of Bill Gates releasing malaria mosquitoes into the audience. I talked about this last week. I had to find the video to replay it.
It holds things back so much. Now, malaria is, of course, transmitted by mosquitoes. I brought some here so you could experience this. We'll let those roam around the auditorium a little bit. There's no reason only poor people should have the experience.
Did you hear that? There's no reason only poor people should have the experience. So he acknowledges targets. This guy's been kicked out of Pakistan for giving them polio and jacking them up. They had to boot this dude. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Uh, I think it was let's see, of course, the first thing they're gonna put up there is some damn disclaimer. Oh, the Bill Gates Foundation didn't paralyze 300,000 children. Yeah, of course. The Indians, Pakistanis. Oh, now they're saying, oh, here's another one. Full fact. He must own this one. Fullfact.org. I guarantee you he owns this. Bill and Melinda Gates wasn't kicked out of India. Oh, it's all. Notice I just put on here the Bill Gates India polio controversy, and nothing but fact checkers saying, no, he didn't do that. No. It definitely was some articles out there saying that they rejected his polio vaccine and they did not want him back after some kids got paralyzed. Let me let him play again.
It holds things back so much. Now, malaria is, of course, transmitted by mosquitoes. I brought some here so you could experience this. We'll let those roam around the auditorium a little bit. There. There's no reason only poor people should have the experience.
Are they clapping? They laughing about how the poor people get malaria. Oh, through the mosquitoes. He's like, oh, it's not right. The niggas in the streets get it. maybe you guys should try it too. As the elites clap and laugh and cheer on his folly. See, this is when you get into the when you see that. Hold on. When you see that particular spirit, man, and a scripture like this comes to mind. See this? Wisdom of Solomon 5:3 says, they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without end. Poor people with malaria. Yeah. Infected niggas. Yeah. That's great, Bill. They're fools. They live a life of madness. They have no honor. They deserve to get hit up with GMO mosquitoes and destroyed and sick.
There.
Standing ovation.
There's no reason only poor people should have the experience.
Black face in the audience. Ain't a brown face in the audience. So-called black or brown face, man.
Those mosquitoes are not infected.
No, tell us something we don't know, man. Good Lord. Let's move on. YouTube takes down right-wing channels linked to DOJ Russia indictments. So this is another article where they're back on the Russian disinformation. They were saying that there was a Russian company that was paying right-wing influencers to do content and shows on YouTube regarding pro-Russia and anti-American stuff. YouTube now is on the move, taking down anybody who's, they can say, man, MOTC is affiliated with the Russians because they keep talking about the war in Ukraine and because they're pro. What? Who knows? They're running through, knocking them down, but they're saying that there's influencers on there who's getting paid to create content. YouTube is cracking down on them. YouTube took down several right-wing politics channels that have been linked with allegations from the Justice Department that Russian government employees were paying right-wing influencers in the United States to produce content. So now you see, what do you trust now? You know, you got cats out here, man. And that's a majority of what's going on the internet anyway. A lot of cats, man, is making content, trying to get paid, trying to go viral, trying to get something cracking so that attention is drawn to them, so they can draw some sort of income because everybody's broke. So it doesn't matter if I make a TikTok talking about, I don't know if anybody's seen this, but I'm getting reports from who? You understand what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I'm getting reports that the Hells Angels are on their way to Colorado to combat the Venezuelan gangs. Sources told me that. That's all they run with, and then people say, "Oh, it's not," and they show some video clips of the Hells Angels riding around, and people thinking, "Oh, they must be driving off to Colorado." No, they were driving off to wherever the hell they was and wherever they clipped the video from. And then the video gets hundreds of thousands of views, and then they get spread. Yeah, they're on the way. They're on the way. So whoever made that TikTok video probably got paid, making up some bullish. And now we're seeing people are getting paid to create influence. And Google and YouTube are saying, "Oh, we're on them." The Google-owned video site terminated Tenet Media and 4 other channels run by right-wing media entrepreneur Lauren Chen as part of the company's ongoing efforts to combat coordinated influence operations, a YouTube spokesperson said in the email statement. So they're cracking down on quote-unquote influencers, and if you're right-wing, they're going to be targeted. Right-wing means that you're conservative. Right-wing means that you're, pro-gun, all this other stuff, right? You got these particular views, they're coming at you. Just another form of censorship, another form to say, hey, we're targeting a particular people who hold some certain values and views. We're not right-wing, we're pro-Bible, but that would be considered right-wing in today's westernized media. So who knows where they're going with this? They got no problem taking us down just by lying about the damn community guidelines they see in channels. Now look, your girl got busted again. Reporter calls out Harris for busing people to and from her rallies. A CBS reporter in New Hampshire called out Kamala Harris' campaign Wednesday for providing buses to ferry people to and from her rallies from hundreds of miles away. Hello? Did you hear that? Kamala Harris gets busted, man. She's out here busing the same people from rally to rally. Remember, I showed y'all the crowd service that you can buy, and they have services out of DC where you can buy paparazzi, you can buy a crowd, you can buy protesters, you can buy whatever you want. They got bodies on deck, people waiting to get paid on a per day basis to go out and incite whatever they're there for. She's getting busted, and this is on. They got videos on X of them. I'm not gonna show them for time's sake, but she gets busted. So her rallies, man, she's out here. Yeah, 1-800 buy a crowd. That's it. And she got busted for busting people from rally to rally. So when we see in these packed places, man, these are paid. I have no doubt these are paid people, paid crowds that they even providing busings to. You know what? Here it go right here. Let me see if I can get that. Said I wasn't gonna play it. I'm inspired now. I'm inspired to see if I can get it up real quick. CBS Boston just called out Kamala Harris for busing in hundreds of people to make it look like she has support. This is so freaking pathetic. Beth Germano, let's hear it.
Well, behind me, hundreds of invited Harris supporters are leaving and boarding shuttle buses. This was a departure for Kamala Harris, leaving toss-up states to come to New Hampshire.
Oh, so that was one. She's providing buses. Here they go, the buses.
And there they fucking are.
Now, supposed to be showing up at their own states for these rallies. She's busing them from state to state. Luxury liners. Now look at it. You think these people are caravanning and really trying to follow her everywhere she goes? Knock it off. Look how many buses she got. You know, so she's out here laughing away. 12 buses. I mean, they're all over the place, man. That was in New Hampshire. They down here in Savannah. These crowds, fake as ever, man. Her and Tampon Tim out here running game. And the reporter caught her. So go figure, man. Go figure. Putin quips that he prefers Harris to Trump, cites a contagious, expressive laugh. He said she's got such a contagious laugh, man. He'd love to sit back and laugh for her, man. He wants her to be president. You know why? He'll put his foot on her neck, man, and be having her submissive so fast. He knows he can impose his will on her, man. So he says he'd rather have, come on now, Harris as the president. I would too if I was him. Russian President Vladimir Putin said during an interview at the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok that Russia now wants Vice President Kamala Harris to win in November since they had previously supported slow Biden. And Biden had endorsed Harris. I told you our favorite, if I may say so, was the current president, Mr. Biden, said Putin, smirking. He was removed from the race, but he advised all the supporters to support Ms. Harris, so we will do it as well. We will root for her. Putin said Harris laughed so contagiously and expressively, it shows she's doing well. So imagine that, man. Imagine that. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. The political theater is real. I know some of y'all seen this, man. Jake looking for any way to come up. Chase Bank issues a fraud warning after ATM glitch video spread online. People was going for these TikTok videos about how Chase got a glitch. You can get free money out the ATMs. They was giving out substantial loans, approving everybody. People's running to go get the money. Depositing fraudulent checks, getting out the money. They have videos, man. People lined up around the block thinking they was coming up, man. It just shows you the desperation of people as well. People looking for a quick come up, man. You know, there's not no more stimmies going out there. No more PPP. So somebody gets slick and watch me and Chase on TikTok. Everybody get their news from this shit, from that stuff. It's unbelievable, man. Then when they realize it's fraud and it ain't right and it's a lie, people was getting back negative account, showing their accounts negative $7, $8, $10, $13,000. And their whole lives now is all jacked up and ruined. Look at this. Over Labor Day weekend, videos appeared on TikTok and other social media platforms allegedly showing people depositing fraudulent checks written for large sums of money at Chase banks. They would then make a withdrawal for a significant amount, believing they discovered a glitch that allowed them to get free money. Free money. If you believe that, man, again, I've got land on Mars, man. I'm selling dirt cheap. Come holler at me. I'll give you a deal. However, a spokesperson for Chase Bank said that those people were likely committing fraud and that the issue was resolved. The bank also warned customers not to mimic what they've seen on the internet. You see how that works, man. Jeremiah 4:22 says, the Lord's people is wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. It says, we are aware of the incident and it has been addressed. A Chase spokesperson told the Epoch Times in an email statement Tuesday, regardless of what you see online, depositing a fraudulent check and withdrawing the funds from your account is fraud, plain and simple. The bank did not respond to a question about whether it's investigated the videos or whether law enforcement is involved, and it's unknown how many Chase customers attempted to make such withdrawal. There was a lot of people. They was lined up at them damn ATMs trying to do this little bank scheme. And don't everybody know that the damn ATMs got cameras? You running up there with a damn fake check trying to deposit it and then trying to withdraw the funds out of it from your account, and you're on camera, and you think you're getting away. Oh, it's a glitch, free money. There ain't nothing free, man. That's another snare that got our people caught up. I'm seeing Jake on there crying because once they rectified the problem and their account was negative 13,000, mad because they got. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Couple more. S&P tumbles Friday to the post worst week since 2023. In other words, at the close of the stock market on Friday, it was the worst week since 2023. Worse in the week. Worse in the year, I should say. So, stock market is down. Crypto, everything is down right now, man. Ain't no light at the end of the tunnel, man. Don't be listening to these goofy YouTube influencers and Instagram. Oh, I can show you how to make money. There's no recession. We got money here, and enroll in my course. I got all the secrets to get you money. They trying to get money because they broke. Don't fall for that foolishness, y'all. Everything is down. Everything is bad right now. You know. Look, great job replacement shock. 1.3 million native-born Americans just lost their jobs. They got replaced by 635,000 immigrants. So we can see here, jobs are being replaced by cheaper laborers. We seen the jobs report, man. They lied about that. 18,000 jobs were never created. They lied. You know, people are still getting laid off. Prices is going up. Your wages aren't. Replacement jobs are part-time or they're giving them to, you know, other people coming over here. Things ain't good. Ain't good. But don't worry. You're working at a restaurant, you're a server, whatever. They're going to have her come pop locking and dropping to give you your food. Yeah, popping like a... You see, China, they got the AI bots, man, already lined up over there serving. They ain't gonna need a host or a waitress or whatever at the restaurants no more. For those who still gonna be able to afford to go out and go eat, they got AI robots, a whole burger place out in Pasadena. They got an AI function in McDonald's in Texas. They got them pop locking and dropping over here in China. You see her popping? Look at her. Whoop. Go. Oh. Look at her. You need to pay your bill? Yeah. Thank you. See? Don't worry. They got everything lined up and prepared. Problem, reaction, solution. Look at it popping. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. You know. Lastly, in closing, I know there was a lot of speculation, hype about the bill in California to give $150,000 to migrants free of charge, nothing. For once in his stinking life, Governor Gavin Newsom killed the bill because otherwise it was going to be all hell breaking loose in this damn state. So as it stands right now, that bill got rejected. They're not giving immigrants, the so-called immigrants, migrants, illegals, whatever the so-called white man wants to label people, our people in particular. The other nations, yeah, they're illegal aliens. But the Northern Kingdom was here already. But they killed that bill, right? Gavin Newsom kills the California bill to help undocumented immigrants buy homes. He vetoed the bill on Friday that would have made some undocumented immigrants eligible for up to $150,000 in state-backed home loans, rejecting proposals that ignited criticism from the right as immigration has become a major tension point in the election. So he's trying to help, his constituents. Come on now, Harris, and no balls walls. to make a stand and say, oh, yeah, I'm fighting immigration over here too. California, great. Yeah, so, for political reasons, man, he cut the water off before he even turned it on. All right, so just to update everybody on that, because I know that was a real heated thing that was going on and had Jake's really tripping, right? But there you go. There you go, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why Yahweh Shai, man. Another episode in the books, right? Hopefully everybody got some good information, some content to take with you to further research, build upon your spiritual prophetic portfolio, to get yourself prepared and ready for what's coming down the pipelines. Just like we read in Luke 21, at the beginnings of these things, when we start seeing them happen, know that our redemption is near, right? So that's how it goes. That's how it goes, man. All right. So y'all be well, man. Take care. See y'all in the near future. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, don't shoot the messenger. Shalom, family.